After listening to the stories that we focused on this year, I was able to realize that characters undergo development as time progresses. In this change, they experience a transformation that shows listeners what it takes for one to achieve their destiny and find their beloved. They do all of this to find the peace and justice that will lead them to ultimate success. My big question is, how does your inner conscience play a role in achieving peace and justice? In my dmp3, the complication was that the characters were not going along with their inner conscience. For instance, in the Psyche and Eros story, Psyche listens to what everyone else tells her instead of her own conscience, and it only leads to bad karma, as later on she only wanted Eros. At this point in the story, the archetypal term that I thought of is the shadow archetype, because many characters have an unconscious aspect of the personality which the conscious ego does not identify in itself. Oftentimes, people reject their unconscious ego, but I believe that trusting your inner conscience leads to achieving the ultimate goal of peace and justice. The characters in each one of the stories must experience a transformation to allow them to adapt to the events of the tale. A story that shows transformation is Tattered Hood. In the beginning, everyone sees her as a strange character who is nothing like her beautiful sister. However, in the end, she undergoes transformation after saving her sister, or her beloved, and is seen as a beautiful woman to the prince. He listens to his inner conscience. Another example of transformation in which someone trusted their inner conscience was in Lion Time. The main character was terrified of the lion at first because he was listening to outside sources who feared the lion. However, in the end he transformed and trusted his instincts and confronted the lion without any sense of fear. He developed a strong and powerful character. In the story Gawain and Ragnell, Gawain exemplifies my big question because he didn't care if people thought she was ugly. He only cared about his instincts and achieved justice in the end. This story portrays the universal level by emphasizing the archetype of beauty. It was not just her beauty that was displayed through a transformation, but also the beauty Gawain held inside. The personal level is exemplified in the story Beginnings. The creator allowed the ducks to help him form the community they were surrounded by because he knew inside they would be beneficial. This relates to my personal life because I've allowed people to help me with things like my work or just through life situations because I trusted that they were only looking to help my best interests. The local level of this character development that centers around believing in your inner conscience can be seen through the point that hit me the most in Odysseus. The challenge that was my point of resonance was with the cyclones. This challenge relates to the local level by how people sometimes don't think before they act and make impulsive decisions that lead to failure. In the Watergate scandal, Nixon did not think before he acted and ended up having to leave office from shame. This challenge also connects to my path of destiny because it has taught me that I should not try to make careless mistakes and think before I act on important things. In addition, it has taught me that I can't let my guard down and that you always need to be prepared for what's to come. The particular level is also a vital component of the amplification of my big question. It mainly focuses on the unique quality of the individual and shows the power one develops inside of them that should be followed. This can be shown through the maiden Tsar story in which he chooses to follow his heart instead of his head. This emphasizes the particular level because he is following what he believes to be true rather than the outside voices. This fights the false belief that you should go with your first thought because people should always take a second and listen to their heart. In conclusion, people need to listen to their inner conscience in order to undergo a beneficial character development. This path of destiny that it brings along includes a series of transformation and challenges that one must overcome to achieve peace and justice. It is essential to listen to yourself and avoid all outside influences to learn all lessons life has in store for you and successfully manage your path of destiny. All photos were made by Stephanie Kasabi. Thanks for watching.